that works hard and will get those rewards.
No, I did mention the other night that, you'd have to ask Erik ten Hag the reason why he sort of disappeared out the picture after such a strong start. And he's just given Man United fans and the rest of the team, plus the new manager when he comes in, what he's capable of. And he was superb the other night. Apart from the 2 goals that he did score, he should have had a Stonewall penalty as well. I'm not suggesting that he would have got up and taken it, but he had a really, really productive game, and in the end was the difference between the 2 sides.
I mean, if people don't know at home what Ben Thornley's like when it comes to decisions that don't go our way, you're a very passionate man, aren't you, Ben?
I am, because first and foremost, before I came here to play as a player all those years ago, I was a fan, and I was a fan then, and I'm still a fan now. And things like that do, they do resonate with me, because I want referees to be consistent, and I want them to be fair. And when it's not happening, and especially when it's going against the club that you love, then yeah, it hurts.
I mean, when you were on our commentary as well, you were basically, as you said, one of the fans, passionate about it. It was obviously awful seeing that it was like you said, Stonewall penalty decision should have been given. And sometimes we've seen a lot of the time Manchester United decisions don't go our way, but those kind of moments really put the team together, and we have to speak about there could be a lot of emotions in today's game, as it's Ruud van Nistelrooy's last game in charge as interim manager, and he's done fantastically, hasn't he?
Brilliant. And if he can get a victory out of this, then 2 wins and 2 draws. Obviously he would have liked 4 wins, but if he can get through the 4 games unbeaten, then he's done a fantastic job, and it's a real benchmark for Ruben Amorim to come in and build from.
Well, there is another player that has done very well for us so far this season, Andre Onana. He has made 23 Premier League saves this season. I mean, incredible stuff. And I've actually seen the fan there. I'm going to go and speak to them. You can say if you want, Ben, you can join me. You can enjoy the view.
I wouldn't.
I'm going to go over here. Hi. How are you doing? I think that you must be a bit of a goalkeeper fan, because I always like the fact when I see it as a goalkeeper shirt show. How much are you a fan of Manchester United? How big are we talking?
Really big.
How big? Can you show me? How big are we talking?
Massive.
Yeah, massive. I know. Oh, bigger than me, that, mate. How much are you a fan of Andre Onana?
A really big fan.
Why do you like Andre Onana so much?
Because he's a good goalkeeper.
He is. Now, what would you say to Andre Onana if he's watching this? If you could give Andre Onana a little pre-match message, what would you say to him?
Make sure that you save all the goals.
There you go, then, words of inspiration. Thank you very much there. Great to hear from the fans. I mean, we've just seen, obviously, some other players coming in now as well. We've had Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias de Ligt coming in. And come over here, having a little wander. You know what? Should we have a little wander over there? Because there's loads of fans over there too. I'll let our Snapdragon phone shuffle across here, as we can see. But as we said, there are tons of fans obviously coming out, and we've got to remember, obviously, the kickoff's not even until this afternoon, and you've got so many people coming in. We've got so many fans obviously coming in, all the time. I mean, it just shows the dedication. As we said, newer players like Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias de Ligt as well. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
It is, and sometimes you've just got to be understanding of the fact that the players have got the game on their minds, and as much as a lot of them do stop, and said they're not going to do it for every game. Some will stop for one game, some will stop for another. Some of the players might stop every time they come in. It just depends what the mindset is on that particular day and the game that they're about to face. So they'll still be here, and they'll be here again, and they'll be here after that. They are dedicated, and we love that, and that is why Man United is renowned the world over for the fan base.
I mean, there is obviously the last obviously game, as we said, in charge for interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy, but that means that our next game we will have Ruben Amorim in charge. Are you looking forward to it? And can you believe it's only a week away?
I mean, you're always looking forward to see what a new manager he's going to implement, and how he's going to generate this squad to be able to move themselves up the table, and for him to be able to get through in Europe, etc. The only thing that is of a little bit of a sour note is this football club and how to win things. And because he's such a great guy, I think everybody respects him, both for the person that he is and for what he's done. So that's my personal opinion. It's out of my hands, obviously, but I've given it you anyway.
I always appreciate your opinion anyway, Ben, all the time. We've just seen Rasmus Højlund and Anthony come in now. We've got Mason Mount as well coming in as well. It was great to see, actually, Mason Mount back in action on Thursday night, because we have been a little bit struggling injury-wise, but to see that, you know, we've got some of our injured players coming back into the fold now is great news, to have full squad depth for when Ruben comes in.
Yeah, some of them were back in the squad on Thursday night, and we got a glimpse of Mason Mount, as you said. Luke Shaw was back in training. We're on an international break now, so hopefully these next couple of weeks and our squad is going to look much healthier in terms of people coming back from injury, and you're going to need that. Everybody knows what a difficult period that, you know, leading in and the Christmas period is, and we need as many players fit as possible, because we've got a lot of games. I think potentially 9 games in December, and more games than usual in the turn of the year in January as well. So it's imperative that we get plenty of people back fit.
Imperative. And you know what? You mentioned before, didn't you, about how some players will just want to be in that mindset for big games at Old Trafford and just go straight in, and they'll stop sometimes. But it seems that Ahmad has decided to sign every single shirt in existence in this line.
He is certainly going to be one person in demand at this moment in time. He's, as we've already touched on, his performance on Thursday night was excellent. Thoroughly deserved his goals. Should have had a penalty, and was definitely the difference between the two teams in what was a fairly drab game.
I mean, as you said there, I mean, great from Ahmad obviously being involved. We've got Casemiro that's here as well. I mean, Casemiro, great experience behind him, and there's been a lot more energy and creativity that he's shown over the past couple of games. It seems like he's really getting into form.
Listen, Casemiro's a class act, he is. I know that he's had his knockers already this season and last, but you don't win and be as successful as he is and has been in the past if you're not a quality player. And he is superb, there's no question about it. And if you're looking for a pointer, look at the goal that he scored against Leicester a few weeks ago. We could do with him doing that today.
I mean, if he does it again today, that means there's 2 goal of the season contenders.
Yeah, well, exactly. Sorry, not a few weeks ago. It was only 10 days ago, wasn't it?
It's felt like a long time, hasn't it?
We've had such a lot of games, haven't we, in between? But yeah, it was a superb strike. And yeah, we are up there with goal of the season contenders, no question.
I mean, we definitely are, and it would be great to obviously get plenty of those goals in today. I mean, we've seen obviously how much we scored against Leicester. You know, it's going to be a different type of side today that Leicester put out, but at the same time, it's a great confidence booster for this squad, you know, to really show that we were able to do it. You know, in the face of adversity, we've had a lot of changes, you know, within this squad, you know, over the past couple of weeks. I just said there, it's only been 10 days since that game, but all of this team, you know, they rose to the occasion.
Yeah, they did, and it was important for the confidence as well. Forget about the team that Leicester put out on that day. They still needed to start finding the back of the net, because it's something that's been a struggle this season so far. I can't see that it's going to be 5 today, but I can assure you that those players in that dressing room won't be looking to score 5. What they'll be looking for is a solid start, and by the time 4 o'clock comes this afternoon, the board still not where United want to be, or indeed should be, but they'll have to take each game as it comes, and this one is an important one, because it's not just the points on the board, it's the mentality with which the players will go away into the international break, knowing that they're resuming on the back of a win, and then they want to keep that going.
It's all about building momentum, as you said there. You know, it is about getting the points on the board. Now, there is another player that is here signing plenty of autographs, is Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes is looking like he's going to make his 250th appearance today. It is crazy to think he's made that many appearances already for Manchester United, but he's barely missed a game.
No, and when you're signing somebody like that who is so creative, and I mean, his stats are unbelievable since he joined the club, the goals that he scored and the assists that he's made. And if you couple that with the fact that he is never injured, it's been a massive signing for us. It really has. And that is probably what's so frustrating about Mason Mount. To himself, that he knows that he has those capabilities, but we just haven't been able to see him consistently. You know, you don't get Chelsea's Player of the Year 2 consecutive years if you're not a very good player. You don't get picked for the England setup if you're not a very good player. It's just that in a Manchester United shirt, these fans here, they've not seen that yet, and he knows that he hasn't produced that yet, and we're hoping that he does, because there's an excellent player in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of support out here for that to really show that this afternoon. And as we said, Bruno Fernandes there, he's going to fly through all these amount of people, because it would be a special day for him. He's a very emotive player as well, you know, heart on the sleeve. So he'll know that obviously it's a huge moment for him. And it's hard to believe as well that he was a January signing.
Yeah.
And people always kind of take that, you know, a player that's really kind of like a first name on that team sheet type of player is usually, obviously, summer has time to pre-season him, but he was a January signing.
Yeah, you don't come across them very often, do you? Because more often than not, clubs like Manchester United, the players that they're interested in, January signings would be ruled out because they wouldn't be available for European competition because of the status of the player that United want. But January, was it 2020?
Yeah, it was 2020.
So it's just before the lockdown, and he hit the ground running straight away and became a firm fans' favourite. Goals, assists, you know, for a long, long time, nobody better in Europe than Bruno Fernandes, and he's been an integral part for Manchester United's successes over the last few years with the cups that they've won. And
people here. I thought I'll chat to the Little Red Devils. That's the main name. So, who signed your football here?
Bruno, Dallo, and Casemiro, and Tom Heaton
Tom Heaton as well. Oh, cool. Where are you from?
New York.
New York. So you've come all the way for this game today. Oh, for it's your birthday today.
Yeah. Oh no, it was like yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday. Well, happy birthday then to you, obviously, and this is a great birthday present here. What you're getting? Who was your favourite player that you've met so far?
Bruno.
Why is Bruno your favourite player?
Because he's the captain. He's like leads our team.
Now, did you know that it's Bruno Fernandes' 250th appearance today? Yeah, I mean, incredible. What would you say to Bruno to obviously wish him congrats on that?
That without him, we probably wouldn't have won any game this season or last season. So,
well, some big props there to you, Bruno. Thank you very, very much. Cheers and happy birthday.